it's Supermoon Tarot here, back at it again with another pick-a-card. Guys, I could not be more thrilled to be back. I missed you guys so much, and I'm very excited to get into today's question, which will be answered with either a yes or a no. That's right. Whatever question you have, whether it be romantic, friendship, maybe there's a confrontation, a career question, or just something in general you've been mulling over, I'm going to give you, by reading the cards, a yes or a no answer. Now, if there is any sort of subtext there where it's like, oh, for sure, solid yes, or it's a no now, but it will be a yes later, I will share that with whatever comes in through the cards. Now, when it comes to answering yes or no with tarot cards, there's a couple different ways you can go about doing it. In today's version, we're going to be looking at mini spread and looking at each card and what they mean in relationship to each other to give the most complete answer. And if you enjoy this, by the way, let me know and I'd be happy to do this again, maybe even weekly. Just something kind of real quick you can get an answer to and kind of move about your day. Either way, please don't forget to give this channel a like and a subscribe. It helps out me and my tongue twister tongue like you would not believe. Either way, here are the groups. We have group number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And remember, these crystals to me feel like beautiful paperweights in this context. They're gorgeous, but please choose your card deck that you resonate with most based on the cards, not the crystals. The crystals are kind of more of a beauty thing I use. I find there's more accuracy in your feeling and gut rather than, that's why I like to choose tarot cards that look all the same, so you're more naturally drawn to your intuition. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, let's get started with group number 1. The timestamps are in the description below. Okay, let's start with group number 1. Got the Emperor card in reverse. Got the 5 of Cups in reverse. And we've got the Judgment card in reverse. This is a solid no. Yeah, this is a hard no. The Emperor in reverse is about somebody struggling and has the inability to make the hard choices. It's not so much about avoiding responsibility, but finding difficulty taking it on. So it's kind of like a bit of a fear factor thing going on there. 5 of Cups in reverse is about loss, so there's been loss, but it is about accepting it and moving on. But there's still a connotation where it's like you're not quite ready, you're still healing. And in the Judgment card in reverse, this is the sort of attitude that comes, like a lackadaisical attitude. This would be like, you just don't care. You really couldn't be bothered. You're like, I just don't want to be involved with this. It doesn't really matter. You choose to not take the weight of the situation is the best way to put it. So your answer is a no. Okay. Trying to make this look somewhat cute in between readings. Okay, group number 2. Magician card upright. Ooh, 9 of Cups upright. I have a feeling this is going to be a yes deck. And 7 of Wands upright. Yeah, this is, we got a solid no, we got a solid yes. This is a solid yes. The Magician card is just wonderful. It is closely, it is ruled by Mercury, about the messenger, and this is somebody who is able to make anything happen. This is a great manifestation card because it's basically saying that you are in control of all the different elements. both earthly and spiritual, that you have everything you need, no more, no less, you're capable right now. So this is just like a really positive, yes, ultimate card. This is really, I love getting this card for especially career spreads and love spreads. It's a very can-do attitude with being in control of your fate, which I love. Nine of Cups. This to me is an underrated card. I don't really hear, like, people get really fixated on the Lovers, the Two of Cups, also really wonderful cards, but the Nine of Cups is the ultimate yes card to anything you could possibly want. It's about not only getting what you want, but getting exactly what you want, how you want it. It's so amazing with absolutely no catch. It's just like the ultimate wish card. It's like truly, as it looks, a genie sort of card. So again, another yes. And the Seven of Wands upright is also a really positive card because it talks about the idea of taking a hold of like a situation or idea and making it work for you. You know, going into battle, seizing control in the moment. It involves a lot of bravery, and the biggest thing is it involves standing up for yourself. So this is kind of a combination of things working out in your favor, kind of cosmically, with a mixture of like you've got the right tools and energy to make it happen. So solid yes, really positive. Not that receiving a no, to be clear, is a negative thing. Sometimes you want to receive the no. Okay, let's look at group number 3. Got Seven of Swords upright, Temperance upright. Ooh, Chariot in reverse. Give me a second to think about this one. You know, this is a no. But the thing that's interesting about this particular spread is this is a no because the situation isn't quite right yet, as in it's implying it will be a yes, but right now it's a no. Like, it's just not the right situation right now. It's a little, let me go over the cards to kind of go over why. So we have the Seven of Swords up right here. This involves secrecy, privacy. There's a lot of like inward, keeping things inward, avoiding confrontation. You could definitely, especially in this sort of context, think of it as like just not being ready to unveil certain things, or a sort of defense mechanism. So definitely there's just like a wall building and a protection thing going on here. Temperance card is more of the positive card in this particular spread because it talks about the integration. This is like, okay, how do I express this? Because it's very similar to things like the Two of Cups, where it talks about like an idea of balance. But the difference here, it's about getting, instead of just things working out and being balanced, it's about a multitude of different elements correctly proportioned and then integrated in just the right way. So it's like that next level of balance. It's like balance with intellect. But this is like a really kind of healing, loving card. There's a lot of intelligence when it comes to the healing and understanding of how to go about it, but it's very proactive and positive. But then we have the Chariot card upright, or I'm sorry, in reverse, which talks about just straight up being unable to work with the situation. Like you just don't have the skills or the emotional mindset right now to deal with it. Or it's an incompatibility thing. Like maybe you weren't meant to be with this person, or you weren't meant to be in this particular career. Again, this is like general. So these two cards kind of imply it's just not the right time right now. There's a lot of protection. A lot of it's just not working out. And the Temperance card is kind of like balancing and working all of these over, and still kind of in a waiting time period of trying to figure out what do you really need to get in the right proportion before it's a yes. So it's like this buildup. It's like you're off right now and you can't get that thing that you need, or that yes that you're clearly wanting. This, to me, especially Spirit's making me feel it, this is like you want it to be a strong yes. And it's just not working out at the moment, but there's a feeling of it's going to work out in the future. It's just not the right time now. So it's a no. Let's go into group number 4. Okay. Got the Nine of Wands upright, the Lovers upright, and ooh, the Ace of Pentacles upright. Yeah, this is a yes, and this is like a making it work sort of yes. It will make more sense when I go into like the cards and what they mean. So the Nine of Wands upright, and this is where the whole like making it work kind of comes into play. This is somebody who's dealt with a lot of blows, and you know, it's just, you know, it's not even over. Like maybe you've been dealing with a lot of sort of confrontation or hiccups in the situation you're in, and it's really rough. But nonetheless, they keep fighting. Nonetheless, they are sticking it out to the end, and they're making it work. And there's like a sense of hope around it. It's like they're almost at the finish line, and they can see that all their hard work has been worth it, but man, are they tired, and man, are they a little bit changed by it. So there is a positivity and a proactiveness and wanting to make it work. And the strong sense that it is going to work. You're almost there, you just got to keep going on. So it's definitely something to keep note here, because Spirit's telling me some of you need to directly hear to keep going on. So that's one. The Lovers card, of course, if you're romantic, I'm sure, and this is a romance question, I'm sure you look at this and straight up are like, oh yes, romance, up. It's a yes. But remember, this is a yes or no question for generals. So this isn't, yes, of course, romantic connotations, but the biggest thing to understand here is that it is about understanding, which is important. It's about commitment. So it's like making a promise and sticking to it. It's about mutual agreements. Like everybody's on the same page. You're sticking to it. There's a sense of security behind this and a sense of promise of longevity. So it's like a yes with a longer term sort of connotation. Then Ace of Pentacles upright. Ace of Pentacles upright, again, is very, it beautifully pairs with the Lovers upright, because this is a card that feels really grounded. This is a card that's about like a new like project or craft. There's a tangibility and a practicality to this new thing. It's not an idea. It's something you can believe in, and you're in just the right place to make it happen, to have everything kind of come into fruition. So there's a lot of crafting and making it happen. So it's a yes, and it doesn't, I'm not implying there's a struggle going on here, because that's not what it feels like. It just feels like it's a yes, and you're making that yes happen. So keep doing what you're doing. Okay, group number 5. Got the Eight of Pentacles upright, the World in reverse, ooh, and the Knight of Cups in reverse. This, I'm sorry to say, and the only reason why I'm saying I'm sorry, that it is a no, but the reason why I say that I'm sorry it's a no is because, how do I put this? It looks like a decision on your part was made wrongly, and that's what caused it to be a no. Because on one hand here, we have the Eight of Pentacles. This is again, very proactive. It's about working hard, but it's beautifully about kind of being really steady in your work continuously and not getting burnt out, like really just motoring along. There's a sense of discipline behind this. There's the positivity of it being a productive thing you're working on, as well as it also points to like a new sense of skill. So there's a lot of like creating and making your destiny and whatever you want to work out for you, and the reliability on these traits to help make it happen. But then on the other side of the wall, we'll say, that is important, we'll get back to that, is the World in reverse. The World in Reverse is about a conclusion, but I would describe it as an unaligned conclusion. So it's not just that it's a negative conclusion, because, you know, the Death card talks about the idea of a natural ending, but the Death card's a really positive card. It talks about it being like it was meant to end, it's run its course. This is like something's not quite, you know, this involves delays. This involves like a lot of hesitation, and it can feel like this feeling of feeling chokeholded. You didn't quite get to finish your sentence. It's like the feeling of being ghosted is the best way I can put it. Spirit's actually making me point that out a lot. I don't know if that resonates with some of you. But it's this feeling of, oh, it ended, and I didn't even get to say my side of the story or finish that concept I wanted to. So for me, it doesn't feel like it ended, even though I know it's over. And the Knight of Cups in reverse is somebody who needs constant reassurance, affectionate-wise. So this is somebody who needs to constantly be told, no, I love you, or constantly needs to be told, yeah, you're going to do great, and they just can't seem to attach to what the person, or not attach, connect to what the other person's saying. So this comes from a lot of like insecurity and displacement. So like I said, it's not just that we have two cards that kind of point to, like if we're looking at it percentage wise, it's not just two cards that are negative and then there's one card that's really positive. If you look at the way this person is distracted by what they're doing, and even these other cards, like these two are more consumed with each other and facing away, this person seems like they're getting more, in tarot, this is called the void. It looks like they are more interested in their other options than what's happening here. So there's this separation of what could have been and what it is. And that wall is kind of a sense of like a really strong, hard, like no, and almost this feeling, especially it being the Eight of Pentacles, like, you know, he built that wall. There was a choice made, and actively that wall got put up, and he doesn't want to be disturbed anymore. He doesn't want to keep needing to reassure someone about something, and it was just a quick, you know, cut off, which is probably why the World in Reverse is popping off, and he just wants to be left alone. So it's a no, and unfortunately something that was decided was the wrong decision. Because again, this is a general reading, so I can't go into specifics here like I would with a private reading, considering, you know, I'm trying to answer everybody's yes and no. But that's the connotation going on here. So let's get ready for group number 6. Okay. We've got the Queen of Cups in reverse. Ooh, the King of Cups in reverse. And we have Five of Wands in reverse. I just want to say before I even look at this, I have the biggest crush on these two out of any tarot deck I have. Like, are these not the hottest of the hotties? They're the hottest of the hotties. I love both of them. But let me look at these cards. This is gonna actually surprise you. Oh my god. I just sorry. I just realized this. I have this really weird go figure, like psychic sort of. I tend to fidget with my crystals at the exact time I need to talk about something, and I always seem to fidget with the crystals that exactly relate to what's going on here. So I can see Spirit is present, and this talks about being unblocking. This also talks about, Obsidian talks about that too, with just trying to like push out negative vibes and keep it out. So that's just so funny. I tend to, it's just this weird thing I've noticed lately when I've gone back and looked at my videos. I don't know why, but I just seem to touch crystals right at the time subconsciously, without realizing they're directly relating to the spread. So that's so funny. I just touched those in accordance to this. So surprisingly, and I do say surprisingly with this answer, that this is a yes, but it is a very surprising yes. Because again, tarot, when it comes to a yes or no answer, you would think this is a no answer because these are both relatively negative cards. Negative is always relative in tarot, but these wouldn't be positive cards, and this is a little more, I mean, you could even view this as negative, but the point is, this is a surprising yes. You wouldn't anticipate this spread to be a yes, but it is, and we'll go into why and how it's kind of like a fighting yes, like making it happen yes. So we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. This is just straight up, our girl is sad. You know, upside down, she spilled her water, her emotions. This is depression. This can often describe losing love or feeling emotionally blocked in some way, like you're unable to kind of attach yourself to those emotions. In the King of Cups in reverse, this talks about, again, also being like a negative term emotionally, but this is someone who's like a lot more masculine and aggressive, so this is somebody who's bursting out with their emotions. This would be jealousy. This would be someone actively being dishonest. They're using their emotions in a more proactive way. But then we have the Five of Wands. Now, Five of Wands, people limit its view a little too much in just, and this is so important to know with tarot. Tarot is never just one thing in one connotation, that's it. It's a combination of communicating with your spirit guides and the relative cards and da-da-da-da, but Five of Wands often is just described as like a confrontational card and like fighting, like a sign that a fight is going to happen. But Five of Wands upright can also talk about a lot of just general debating. Yes, the card for sure will always involve like a lot of vigor behind it and intensity, but sometimes you're like, you know, trying to share your different ideas and saying like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And you all care so much about what you're working towards that of course there's going to be some butting of heads or a lot of not backing down. And that's what's going on here. You know, it just feels to me, and Spirit's telling me, that despite these really intense emotions going on, there's like this internal fight within yourself. There's this fight with others to push through this. So to me, this is a yes. This is a yes, and forcing it and making it with like, you know, blood on your knuckles to overcome the negative side. So if you, again, this is a yes or no question, so this is super general compared to like a private reading, but if you are struggling with these sort of like emotional experiences or whatever, you're gonna push through it. You're gonna make it happen. This is a for sure like a fight to the yes, but it's definitely something to be aware of, that you're gonna need to be very involved and proactive to make it a yes. So that's really important to note here. But I'm happy to tell you it's a yes if that's what you wanted to hear. Again, yes or no is not a negative thing. But either way, guys, I absolutely loved doing this. It's just like a fun, quick thing for me to do. And, you know, it's really fun to do this. If you're interested, I would be happy to do this like weekly, or if you want like a weekly just tarot reading, I'd be happy to do that too. But just let me know what you guys think about this. Either way, guys, I loved giving this reading. I hope you enjoyed receiving its messages as much as I enjoyed giving them. Either way, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. It helps with the channel like you would not believe. Have a beautiful day. I'm wishing you the best. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!